Okay, here's the thing. I've gotten rejected by many guys, as everyone has, right? But usually it's just by right? Getting rejected by like a good, like a high quality guy, like that hurts. That really hurts.
You guys need to stop telling your friends that they deserve better, because sometimes they do not.
I really hate when oh, you're fine, this, that, and the third, but you ain't got no.
Alicia Howard is a perfect example of what they mean when they say we don't call women losers enough.
Woohoo! Victory for men everywhere. The Trumpster has done it again.
Your body count matters as a girl simply for the fact that it matters to men.
Women act like they don't need men anymore.
What about me?
What are you going to say about all the TikTok girls that are saying all these mean things about you in my ring?
That it's proving a point that men are the only creatures in this world that get no unconditional love. They're loved only the condition that they provide something for another person.
That's sad, but I think you might be onto something.
There's really two types of women in this world. The one type that absolutely has to know how much money was spent on her engagement ring. This woman will either know how much you spent because she already had picked out the ring, or she will find out how much you spent either through blatantly asking you or just knowing the specs on the diamond. The other type of woman just wants meaning behind the ring. This meaning can come from the fact that the ring or the gems are a family heirloom, or through the fact that he finds something that really is fitting to her sense of style. For me, I'm simple. He obviously did a good job. But the thing about this second group of women is that they would say yes to a ring pop. When you get down on one knee, they're not looking at the ring first because they're saying yes to you, not the ring.
Oh, when he told me he was 34, I said, where's your wife and kids, bro? Like, you're
what?
34.
Yeah, come on, getting up there.
I'm like, you're getting up there. That's
40's like, right around the corner.
40 is right there. You're gonna be 35 really soon. And he was like, oh, like I'm in no rush, blah, blah, blah. You know why he's not in a rush? Because he's expecting that he's gonna scoop up like a 25, 26-year-old. So he's not in a rush.
Oh.
And I'm just like, oh, yeah, it's not gonna work. So I think like a lot of men think like that.
That mentality.
Like, y'all always on here talking about some marriage is a scam. But having a baby with a man who made you live in poverty wasn't a scam?
You guys need to stop telling your friends that they deserve better, because sometimes they do not in fact deserve better. Sometimes they are getting exactly what they deserve. And you telling them to find someone better, that's just sabotaging them, because baby, this is the best they can do.
Woohoo! Victory for men everywhere. The Trumpster has done it again. So now women can no longer enrich themselves through divorce. Man, this law should have been passed a long time ago, because I mean, Trump was right. It has become a business for women marrying men to gain their wealth after 2 years of marriage and they get divorced. So honestly, I am all for it. I'm here for it. I think it's great. It's, to me, I mean, all of the feminine women, I guess we have them to thank, because they don't need a man paying for their stuff. They're good. So, you know, here you have it. When you get divorced from your husband, you get to walk away with what you walked in with. I think it's a great idea. But beyond that, I can hear a conversation. There's a Democratic man somewhere cussing Trump out right now because, damn it, he wanted to give his wife half. He wanted to give his soon-to-be ex-wife half of everything. Even though they were only married for 2 years, she deserved it. And I'm sure she would still take it. So I guess the point is that no matter what Trump does, good or bad, people are going to hate on him because they just want a reason to hate him. So if you're a Democratic man, you should be praising Trump right now. But we all know that will never happen, because it could be Scooby-Doo running against it could be Scooby-Doo running against Trump, and you guys would still vote for Scooby-Doo. So, all right. Y'all have a good night.
My boyfriend mentioned this to me right before he left for work, and I was just thinking about it on my drive to work. Body count does matter. Your body count matters as a girl simply for the fact that it matters to men. And if that's what you're chasing, that's what you want to attract is men, well then, therefore, it matters because it matters to them. Why would a man want to claim a girl who's slept with 30, 40, 50 men. She done been passed around. That's a lot of people. Yeah, I don't even know if I've met that many people in my lifetime. I'm joking. But yeah, it matters to them. They care about that. And I'm not speaking for every single man in this world, because of course there's men that they don't care about, but those are probably the men that you don't want. So yeah, it does matter. It matters. And trust me, I'm not claiming to be no saint, and I used to think that same way too. Like, why does it matter? Like, it's my body, blah blah blah. And he taught me that it matters because it's not like this full thought out explanation. It's just because it matters to them, and if that's what you want as a man, then it matters. It does. Anyways, I'm gonna stop saying it matters.
Men are suffering from loneliness in this country right now. Yeah, they are suffering from loneliness because women act like they don't need men anymore. And that's a lie. You know that's a lie, okay? If you're a single woman and you're telling yourself you don't need a man, you know you're lying to yourself. It seems like we don't need them because we're so good at therapy, right? Girlfriends, therapy. Hobby, therapy. Taking care of the children, also kind of therapeutic because it takes your mind off of other things, right? So everything we do is we just engage in therapy and gaslighting ourselves that we don't need men. We need them. Our children need them. Every child needs a mother and a father, or a masculine and a feminine in the home. The masculine is to build mental strength. So if you're raising a child by yourself, you are robbing them of mental strength.
Aisha Howard is a perfect example of what they mean when they say we don't call women losers enough. The lady is 38, having a baby by a 23-year-old. Not to mention, her first child, Jason, she had that baby with Lil Baby when he was literally a teenager. She's actually insane, but to take matters just a little bit further, I actually think she's a predator, and it's very nasty. She has a really good talent for trapping young men with money, and it's really nasty. She knows better every time and still decides to do it. Anthony Edwards aside, being a nasty serial cheater, has multiple children, basically already went through this situation literally last year, doesn't know how to have protected sex, a different story. But that lady right there, those text messages were so embarrassing. Anthony, do you hate me, sad face? The nigga said yes. Yes, I hate you. I hate you for bringing a child into this world knowing he's not gonna have a father. And you still had, oh God. Not to mention, he typed so fast, he meant it seriously. The nigga said he's. The nigga, it really gets to a point, y'all. It gets to a point. It does.
Y'all, I want to be single for the rest of my life.
Go ahead.
I just want to be single. Like, why do we have to get married and stuff? Because I love to flirt.
No, you like...
Guilty, yes. I'm friendly as hell.
We can tell.
Every single day, everywhere I travel, I can literally flirt with anybody I want.
You can get smashed by everybody you want.
I can switch them up whenever I want. It's so much fun.
Jezebel.
Like, being with one person, absolutely not. Sorry, I'm too friendly for that. I know myself. For example, what if your friend's cuter than you? What do you expect me to do? That's not fair. That's not fair. I just wish it wasn't so frowned upon for women not wanting to get married.
And everybody got the nerve to ask, like, why men aren't dating? Why aren't men at the clubs like that? Why aren't men taking women on dates? Why are men staying in the house? Because like this is what a free-spirited demon looks like. They're soulless. They're uninhibited. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, people wonder why black women have the highest STD rates. Our women have the highest. And it's because they're moving like this right here. Uninhibited. I like how the topic has been men are out the way. They're not dating. They're staying to themselves. They're staying in the house. They're not partying and wasting their money. Listen, keep it that way. They're uninhibited outside. If the right woman comes around, she'll come around. But bro, women like this though, the free spirit, oh no, man, stay away.
I really hate when a nigga's like, oh, you're fine, this, that, and the third, but you ain't got no ass. Bitch, I know that. Give me thick or shut up.
Stop.
It's on me. It was you thought you were that important that I just wanted to record you. No, you're sweet though. Like, I'm a comedian myself. I wasn't trying to get fame off of you, man. It's okay. She really did. It's on me all the time. It's okay. You're still cool.
Okay, listen up, because this is a lesson to be learned. If there is one person that you decide to keep around you as a friend, it needs to be a man who cheats on women. hear me out here, because I know that you're thinking, you're like, why would I be friends with a man? That's one. And two, why would I be friends with a man who hurts women? Listen, okay? Nobody's telling you to validate what the man does. Nobody tells you to respect what the man does, because obviously what he's doing is shitty shit, right? But it's about what he knows and how he knows how to play the game. A few years ago, there was this guy that I was really into, and let me tell you, babe, I'm gonna be real with you. I was giving it my all. I was, and I should not have, because I was for sure not getting it. But I was blind. I was blind because I'm like, I was blind, and I was giving him up. I was giving it my all. I thought it was getting serious. It was very much not getting serious for him. But I'm hanging out with this guy that was my friend, and he cheated on. I mean, straight up, he would come to me and he would tell me about how he was at once. He was dating 3 different girls. He got a baby mama. Like, it was the whole nine. I tell him I got this situation. I'm like, look, bro, I'm stressed out. Like, I don't know what's happening here. I'm confused. This guy was, he was throwing me back and forth and giving me very much mixed signals. So the guy asked me, he's like, lay it on me straight. Like, what's going on? Tell me the situation. I tell him the situation. I don't even get halfway through the situation. In the middle of talking to him, he starts laughing at me and says, oh, he just straight up tells me, that man does not want you. He's not taking you seriously. He just wants to. I'm sitting here like denying. I'm like, nah. Like, it's not like that. Like, you just don't know him. Like, you just don't know him. And his response is, no, trust me, because I do the same shit. He talk about the 5 different girls that he's running around at the moment. He's like, he's doing the exact same thing. The exact same situation that this guy is running on me, he in it himself is running around on 5. He laid out exactly what's happening behind closed doors that I don't know about with this guy. What's going through this man's head. And let me tell you something, he was right. I ended up finding out the hard way, because that night still I was like, I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. And I continued with the guy. And then me and the guy ended things. And then I found out afterwards that every single thing that man told me was very much true. So do with that information what you will. They may be shitty in relationships, but they are helpful in your back pocket, okay?
So when a modern woman, boss babe, strong, independent woman says to you next time, what do you bring to the table? I've got my own car, own crib, my own money. What is a man going to do for me? What I need him for? You can point to a video like this and say, we provide guidance, we provide direction, we provide intelligence and insight that you and your quote unquote infinite wisdom do not have. Go sit down somewhere.
As a woman, there is nothing more humbling than when you start to pull up a guy's Instagram and you're like, he just really doesn't post a lot. Girl, he's ugly.
You gotta watch this.
One of my previous posts, I mentioned that after 75 days of being married, I asked for a divorce. And really, it was 60 days. But I was like, maybe you tripping. Give it a second, wait a minute, see, what's up. But at day 75, there was like an event that happened, and I was just like, no, ain't no way I'm finna stay in this. I don't care nothing about no paperwork or none of that. I gotta get out of this situation because this ain't it. I'm gonna preface this story by saying I have never been a woman to stay in a relationship longer than I need to. I have always been the woman that has gotten away. Now, I'm not going to say that I haven't stayed in situations longer than I should have, but when the light bulb went off, I had no problems leaving. So here's a story on how I got married. And after 75 days of being married, I wanted a divorce. I'm also going to say we didn't even have the opportunity to live together. So we lived in 2 separate homes. And I mentioned that I dropped the $1,500 for the divorce.
So during the 75 days of them being married, they didn't live together? Why? Something is already wrong, because 75 days and you don't even live together yet?
Not to mention she's wearing it as a badge of honor.
So the divorce was a non-contested divorce. So he didn't contest it. And so we didn't have any children together. We didn't have any assets together. We didn't live together. No shared vehicles, no shared accounts, no shared anything. So it was a very kind of in and out process once I filed. So the backstory, I went to FAMU. He went to FAMU too, but that's not how we met. We actually met because he some kind of way found me on Instagram. He initially started DMing me, but it was just friendly. I'm leery when guys slide in my DMs, so I might respond, but I respond very short. So he would comment on my pictures. He would comment on my videos, and I took it with a grain of salt. I was like, whatever. But he kept being consistent with commenting and with sliding in my DM. So it went from I like that picture to I think you're a gorgeous woman. And then it went to, where are you located? What city are you located? So you talked about, I let him know in Atlanta. And he was like, oh, me too. I just moved up here not too long ago, Bob. So he asked me on a coffee date, which is should have been red flag number 1. So I politely responded to him, I don't do coffee dates. I have a nice Keurig in my house with all the bells and the whistles. I don't need to get in my car. I don't need to get dressed. I don't need to drive in Atlanta traffic for no coffee.
I would have stopped pursuing her right then. When did coffee dates become a deal breaker? To call it a red flag? Honestly, that would have been a red flag on her part because the entitlement is unreal.
Exactly. Not to mention Walmart has steak, asparagus, and any dessert that you could ever want. So what's up with that? Take your behind to the coffee shop.
So if a coffee date is what you're offering, I'm not interested. He responds back, okay, it's no problem. Cool. What we could do a restaurant. We could get drinks, eat drinks, get food, whatever. Talk over food in a nice restaurant. So I left him on red for a couple of days because the coffee date thing didn't sit well with me. I don't do coffee dates. So he responded again and he was like, I'm not sure if you got my message, but I'd like to take you out. So I was like, you know what? Cool. Ain't no harm in meet him. I will drive my car and meet him out. So we decided to go out on a Tuesday. So infamous Taco Tuesday. When I got downtown to the taco place, Atlanta's downtown is crazy with parking. It's awful. So it took me, I was probably 30 minutes late, and I'm not usually late, but I was about 30 minutes late because for the life of me could not find where to park.
Red flag number 2. First flag, coffee date. She too good for coffee. Second flag, you're from Atlanta, so you are well aware of Atlanta traffic. Traffic you didn't want to get into because of coffee is that same traffic that you got into to go eat a taco. So you know about this traffic, so why didn't you give yourself enough time to get there on time? 30 minutes? He just moved there. He's there. Why did it take you 30 minutes? And I understand sometimes things happen, but why wait? Red flag number 2.
Exactly. Don't want to go on a coffee date, but then want to keep this man waiting for 30 minutes, rude behind.
So I shot him a quick message and let him know I'm going to be late because I'm having a hard time figuring out where to park. So he was giving me instructions and he was like, I can come out there and show you where to park. Long story short, I found out where to park, got into the restaurant and met him in the restaurant. Let me also say this. He was not really my type physically. And I don't even have a type physically, but he wasn't my type physically, if that makes sense. So first date goes well. He walks me to my car. I go home, let him know I made it home, whatever. Exchange numbers so we continue to converse. Now, I'm the type of woman, I don't call a man. I don't text a man. Even if we are in a relationship, I'm not calling your phone. I'm not texting your phone first. Call it what you want. I just don't. If a man wants to talk to me, he will reach out to me, whether that's text, call, whatever.
I know there's different people that have different feelings on who calls or texts first. What do you think? I want to hear what you think. Do you have that rule also to where I'm not going to be the one who call or text first? Is that a rule that you abide by? Just asking. I would like to know.
Modern women have a lot of stupid rules that don't make any sense. Y'all are both trying to put forth effort. You need to be trying to do the same. You're putting yourself up on a pedestal, you're entitled, and you're wondering why men don't want to get married. Men are walking away. As a matter of fact, you walked away from the marriage 75 days after y'all got married. And it's probably for some stupid stuff.
If I'm remembering correctly, when he got back from his birthday trip, we went on a second date, I believe. Regular conversation, everything's going well. Then he invites me over to his house. We start talking about the area that we live in, and he lives on the total opposite end from where I live. So we went on a date to the seafood place. Again, nice time. Conversation is flowing. We leave the date. We go back to his house. We're listening to music. We're just chopping it up, chatting it up. Cool.
Is she even interested?
On to part 3. I'm going to say this. I don't like men. And in most cases, I do not take them serious. It's for the moment, it's for a good time. If you talk to my sisters, my cousins, my friends, they will tell you. Now, I find men attractive. I'm not attracted to women, but there are not a lot of good men at the core. And I've always known that. I didn't know how to explain it when I was younger, but I always felt it, like something about them. I don't really care for them. So, long story short, he asked me to marry him. I say, and don't jump down my throat again, but I didn't really take it serious like that. It was just like, oh, he want to get married. Oh, let's get married. That's kind of how I said it. And he was like, no, I'm serious. I really want to get married. So I was like, because at this point, I'm just like, he probably not going to be the man that I stay married to for my whole life. But
what? Why do it? Marriage is not supposed to be temporary. This is supposed to be your lifelong partner. I know things happen. She's expecting it to fail before it even gets started. You can't make this up.
I'm in my 30s. They're like, well, we won't get married. We don't have more kids. I have always been very successful in my education. I've always been successful in my career. But my love life has always been, and he just caught me in a moment. And I was just like, you know what? Let's do it.
So I only clipped a little bit of this video because there's so many parts, probably like 6 or more. If you want to go back and watch all the parts, it's like an hour and something long. I found this video on YouTube from a channel called Messy Stories. She did say that they got in an argument and her mouth got real reckless. And we all know how that can go because women, we know how we can get with our mouth. Let's just be real. Also, she lets us know that when they got married, it was like a secret thing because she was saying when she went back home, she didn't want him to go back home with her. Only people that knew that she was married was her sister and her cousin. I mean, what are we hiding it for? You're grown, right? Red flag after red flag. So after the argument, she said she sent him a message saying, since you're a lawyer, you can basically draw up those divorce papers because you're clearly not what I want and I'm not what you want. Then she didn't like his response of fine. She automatically assumed he had a new supply or a new woman to mooch off of. I really would like to hear his side of the story. At the end of the day, this wasn't going to work. This was not going to work. They got married too fast. They didn't vet. They didn't know each other. From day one, they wasn't on the same page. Red flags everywhere, but they ignored it. Lesson: do not ignore the red flags. I would love to hear your thoughts. Drop your comments. Let's go.
No accountability whatsoever. And this is why men don't want to get married. Is because within 60 to 75 days, she wants to get a divorce talking about, oh, you a lawyer? Go ahead and write it up. Oh, you're an idiot. Go ahead and stop wasting my time. How about that? But modern women don't want to hear that. You sat up there on this internet. She said made a video an hour long talking about, and not specifically her because I'm hearing that this is a story that she's just telling, right? But whoever story it is, the original woman that posted it talking about, I don't like men like that. What? Modern women continue to do things for the plot and continue to waste men's time, their money, their resources, and then wonder why a man won't court, wonder why a man won't pursue, wonder why a man won't marry you. Because you continue to do things just willy-nilly, just didn't know rhyme or reason. Wonder why a man don't want to have nothing to do with you.
So why doesn't nobody talk about the fact that when you become a mother, the people around you really start to change? Like, you, like, it's like the love completely disappears for you and it goes straight to your child. Like, I understand that you want to ask how my daughter is doing. I understand that people want to know how my kid is doing specifically and how she's feeling. But what about me? What about how I'm doing? Because I have to wake up every day to make sure my child is bathed, clothed, fed. I have to make sure she is taken care of before I am.
Is this a joke? I mean, this is normal grown-up stuff. I don't understand.
And I don't even get asked how I'm doing. The first text I get from the of the day is, how is Ava doing? How's your daughter doing? Blah, 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 blah. What about me? The care that I used to get before I had my daughter was different. But now it's like, you, I want to see your daughter. I want to see how she's doing. I don't care about you. I have to be mentally stable to make sure that my child is taken care of 24/7. I can't tell you how many mothers out there to this day struggle on a daily basis to take care of just one child. I don't struggle as much, but still, like, I would love to get asked how I'm doing. I would love to get asked, do you need anything? But instead they ask, oh, how is she doing? Blah, blah, blah. Like, can I come see her? All this. But what about me? I'm not trying to be selfish, like, at all. Like, I've sat here, thought about it, and thought about it, and thought about it. I'm not trying to be selfish. Like, I don't know, like, how to feel. Like, am I being selfish? Just to want to be cared about again?
No, I don't think that you're selfish for wanting people to ask how you're doing. That's normal human behavior. But realize and understand when it's reversed and the man is saying, man, I need help, I'm struggling, hey, I'm lonely, then they're celebrating the male loneliness epidemic.
Because, like, ever since I had my daughter, it's just changed for me. I don't feel like people care about me anymore. My family does not care about me. They only care about my child. When my child is here because of me. She is here because of me. Like, I love my daughter so much, and nothing is gonna change the love that I have for her. But it's just the people around me. Their colors literally show. Their true colors show when you have kids. I don't know if it's just my family or the people that I have around me, but I feel like I don't get asked enough, how am I doing? Because I really be needing somebody to talk to. I really be needing somebody to express how I feel on a daily basis. Because I really feel uncared about. I feel unloved. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I have a boyfriend and he loves me so much. Like, he does. But, like, at the same time, like, it's the love that I want for my family. Like, my mother, I wish I got as much as I got, I get, But, like, it just, I just want to know if anybody goes through the same thing I go through.
Wait, is that...
Like, does your family just act different? Do you ever just get a phone call or text in the morning and it just be specifically about your child? Every day, how is she doing? How is she doing? What about me? What about me? Because I'm not gonna lie, up here, I go crazy every day. Every day, because I feel alone constantly. And I know God loves me. But at the same time, like, I honestly feel like nobody around me cares about me anymore. They only care about my daughter. Like, I feel so...
Like I said, this is what men go through on a daily basis, every single day. And nobody reaches out. Nobody checks on them. Nobody lends a helping hand. Once again, like I said, I do feel for you. But, really honestly and truly listening to this sounds a little bit like postpartum, right? And I could see why at that point in time you would want somebody else to reach out, because it seems like your boyfriend, when you're telling him these things, you want to trauma dump, basically. And he's not going to understand fully like a woman would. So you actually need friends with kids that can take time away from their kids. So what you would want in this situation is your boyfriend to take care of the kids, as well as, I don't know, maybe some of your other friends, their kids too. Just have a movie night of him being burdened and taken out, to where all of y'all go and y'all have a night together with yourselves. And every so often he takes a load on and y'all go do whatever you're doing, right? That's what you're really looking for, but you're not actually saying that. So like I said, I get it. But it seems that, once again, when men say the same thing, even to the point of crying and breaking down, you're not a man, you're weak, dry it up, push on.